This episode is proudly supported by OpenTable.
Nearly 1/3 of diners are booking same day. So they're making those decisions on the spot. And 10% are making their bookings within just a few hours. And so it's why it's so important to have booking software like OpenTable, which allows your diners to discover you. And so when restaurants are on platforms like OpenTable, they're much more likely to be discovered. We help diners to connect to restaurants. Ultimately, having technology, using technology, helps you to reattach to those diners.
Experience the power of OpenTable. For an exclusive offer, visit restaurant.opentable.com.au/DITW.
When I was coming to my teenage years, about 10 or 11, my mum got quite sick, so I had to cook for us every night. And that was something that started off as a bit of a chore, but I soon fell in love with cooking, and from there I really realised how much I loved cooking, that it was my passion. So I decided to turn my passion into a career.
We love celebrating the next generation of hospitality professionals on this podcast. I would say there's little that gets me more excited. Development and mentoring program, Proud to be a Chef, recently announced its award winners. And this year, apprentice chef at Nobu Melbourne, Zane Hamka Clark, took home one of the prizes. Zane, it's a thrill to have you on the podcast. Welcome.
Thank you. So good to be here.
Tell us about the award that you won.
As part of Proud to be a Chef, I won the Social Media Award. And that was for my use of social media during the competition, through documenting my experience and sharing it with everyone.
Well, congratulations. It's really cool to have social media recognised in this kind of forum. Maybe why don't you talk us through what Proud to be a Chef is, and then we can talk about the way that you documented it.
Sure. So Proud to be a Chef is this incredible program run by Fonterra, and it brings together 33 apprentice chefs from around Australia for 4 days of experiences, dining experiences, workshops, masterclasses, and some classes with these amazing mentors from some leading hospitality venues in Melbourne. So we had Dan Gerardo from Maha and Kayleen Tan from Tonka. And it was a really amazing 4-day experience, which ended in a cook-off and then some awards.
Wow. So I've had a look at your social media, obviously, to see what you're doing so well. And I noticed that when you talked about the cook-off, you said everything didn't go quite to plan. Can you tell us what can you just give us the lowdown? What happened? What's the setup?
Oh, no. Okay. So the program was really about the 4 days, and the cook-off was just, something at the end, kind of there to motivate us and to share the food we love. So it wasn't the main aspect of the competition, which was kind of stressed throughout. But with the cook-off, my dish didn't go exactly how I wanted it. I didn't have electricity on my bench, so I had to run around between other people's benches. And then the blast chiller wasn't working, and then there's a few things like that. So, but I still enjoyed the experience, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, good on you for putting yourself forward. I mean, it's hard to put yourself on the line for these things. But I mean, what is it about your journey as a chef that makes you want to stretch yourself in this way?
Well, when I first started my apprenticeship, I was really anxious and really nervous. And I remember my first class, I got in and we're doing precision cuts, and I was shaking with my knife. I couldn't even hold my knife. I was so anxious. And from that, I just needed to find a way to put myself out of my comfort zone and really grow my confidence. So my culinary instructor, he tried to encourage me to join some competitions. And then I did that. And my first competition, after it, I was like, I'm never doing that again. But then I did it again and again, and it really built my confidence to the level I am today. And, I realized that I can gain so much from these competitions and these programs and, network with some great people in the industry and build my confidence and meet new people.
Wow, that's so admirable that, to be nervous, you put yourself in situations where you would naturally be coming up against that very feeling. So it sounds like you had some really good mentors to help you along that path. So, okay, best use of social media. So tell us your approach? And what was it, do you think, that the judges liked about the way you presented the Proud to be a Chef experience on social media?
Well, going into the competition, I knew that we already knew there was an award for social media, but I already use social media quite a lot. I have my own little food page, and I originally started that as a way to just document my growth, and so I can look back and see how far I've come, and also document cool things like this that I'm doing. And then when I learned that we should do something for social media for Proud to be a Chef, I thought that I'll document it every day, doing a little vlog of everything we did and some posts about my journey. And I really just wanted to share that with everyone, and so other people who aren't in the competition can realize how we had such an amazing time. And I just wanted to share that with everyone. So I think that that enabled me to do so.
Yeah, a nice one. It's interesting because the way you speak about social media, it sounds pretty wholesome and positive, but I guess there can be a real toxic side to social media as well, just in terms of people comparing themselves with one another, and it's constantly wondering if you're up to scratch where everyone else is having this bright shiny life. How do you sort of balance those things? Well,
for me, I use it I have a personal page and a food page. I think for people's personal pages, social media can be a bit harmful towards your self-confidence and a whole lot of things that go on social media. But for my food page, I just try to keep that as a way that I can use to gain inspiration from other people that I can learn from, follow people that I'm interested in, and then hopefully do the same and post my food, and hopefully other people are interested in that. So I think it is a bit of a holistic thing. And I think it is a bit of a positive thing as well. You can just see how far you've come, and you can learn and grow from other people, which is what I try to do whilst using social media.
Yeah, I love that idea of it, thinking of it almost as this personal portfolio where you can look back and see your own progress. And if other people want to come on the journey with you, then that's great too. It's a really nice perspective. Zane, I'd love to learn more about what got you into cooking. Tell us about your journey to becoming an apprentice.
Okay, so when I was quite young, I was always in the kitchen with my mum. I'd always help out and try to cook things and help where I could. When I was coming to my teenage years, about 10 or 11, my mum got quite sick, so I had to cook for us every night. And that was something that started off as a bit of a chore. But I soon fell in love with cooking, and from there I really realised how much I loved cooking, that it was my passion. So I decided to turn my passion into a career by starting my chef's apprenticeship after high school. So I started after high school at Crown, and then that's led me to work at some amazing venues within Crown and now Nobu.
Amazing. So what year of your apprenticeship are you in?
I'm in my third year. I should be qualified in about a month or so.
Oh my goodness, that's so exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very excited.
So, what's it been like? Is it what you expected? What have the main challenges been? What have been, the good and difficult things along the way?
It is everything I expected and a bit more. It's been challenging, as you can imagine. The industry is quite difficult, especially as someone who's just starting off quite young, straight after high school. The hours are quite difficult, but they change with each restaurant you're in. And I'm very lucky that doing my apprenticeship through Crown has allowed me to work in. So we get to rotate every 6 months. So I've been able to work in a range of different venues, cuisines, and service styles. So I've got to do, a lot of different things. But the challenges have definitely been the hours and feeling a bit connected through the industry. But it's been such a highlight, it's been such an incredible experience.
Zane, tell us about some of the tasks you've got at Nobu. What have you been learning? What's your role there?
So I'm currently on the grill section, and I have been for quite a while. So I'm in charge of, cooking and day-to-day prep and service, which is really great because I get to use a lot of premium Japanese ingredients like Mayura Wagyu or A5. It's a really great place to work and to learn as well. I've got to learn a whole heap of different techniques that are really, essential to Japanese cuisine that I haven't learned anywhere else.
That sounds so good. I've noticed on your Instagram that quite a lot of your cooking is vegan. Is that are you vegan, or is that an interest of yours? Like, where does that fit in?
Yeah, I am vegan. I try to be as much as I can. Sometimes I'm just a bit vegetarian, but it's a bit hard whilst you're doing a chef's apprenticeship. I still have to taste everything that I cook anyways, but at home I still try to be vegan as much as possible, and I have been vegetarian since I was about 10 years old, so it's always been something I've been very interested in and committed to.
That's so interesting to then go into an apprenticeship where, as you say, you're doing all kinds of different cuisine. Like, how does that sort of sit with you?
Well, I've always known that's something I'd have to do. My passion for food runs deep, and I'm still very passionate about vegan food. It's my biggest interest because one day I'd like to have my own vegan restaurant. But I know that I have to learn the fundamentals of classical cuisine first, and hopefully that can transfer those skills that I learn into vegan cuisine. So that's why, I'm not too fussed about if I have to work with meat or dairy. I think it's all just something I have to learn, and then I can use that to my advantage.
I have to say, I completely agree with that. From a culinary perspective, I recently ate at a Chinese vegetarian restaurant where the chefs all come from, a variety of different styles of food, not vegetarian food. And I think, their flavour palette, their repertoire of techniques is really broad, and I think they are, certainly in that experience, and thinking about it more generally, they're certainly able to bring a lot more creativity into that food. So I think it'll stand you in really good stead.
Thank you.
I'd love to hear more about your personal ambitions. So, what's the vision? What's the big audacious goal?
I have so many goals and dreams, but my number one has long been to have my own restaurant, and I would love to have a vegan restaurant. I'm not too sure what cuisine yet. It could be, Italian, modern Asian, but it's always been my goal. And I would love, as I said, I'd love to use all of the skills that I've learned in classic cuisine and transfer them to vegan cooking, and hopefully kind of revolutionize vegan dining.
I love it. Are you a fan of Shannon Martinez?
I am a big fan. So she's definitely been a bit of an inspiration to me as well.
Yeah, she's so inspiring. And I noticed on her Instagram the other day that she reckons she's nailed vegan choux pastry, which I think is a pretty high bar to cross over.
It is, yes.
Wouldn't you just love to know how she's done it?
I would. Maybe I have to work for her sometime.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd love to have you as part of the team, Zane. So once you've completed your apprenticeship, what's the shorter term goal?
So at the moment, I will be completing about a month or so. And then I'll be working at Nobu hopefully until the end of the year. And then next year I'll be going to Paris. So a few months ago, I won a competition called the Tox Blanche, and that gave me an international scholarship to use how I'd like. And I decided to use that to study a diploma of plant-based culinary art at Le Cordon Bleu in Paris. And then hopefully I'll be working there as well and gaining some really good experience and skills and knowledge. So I'm super excited for that.
Oh my God, you absolute legend. That is, congratulations. That's so cool. Amazing. Wow. We'll have to catch up with you after you've done that, or maybe while you're there, and you can tell us all about it. How are they making it delicious and French without cream and butter? That's what I want to know. So awesome, Zane. So, for people who are considering embarking on a career in cooking, what kind of advice would you have for them?
I would say to just take every opportunity that you get. If you have a passion for cooking and you really want to succeed, just try learn from as many different people you can. Try sort out the best chefs and learn from them, and gain as much skills that you can, and then get these opportunities. Like if there's a competition you see or a mentorship program, just go for it. You have nothing to lose, really.
Amazing. Love your bravery and your big dreams. Zane, thank you so much for chatting to us today. It's been really inspiring to talk to you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been great to talk to you as well.
This is Dirty Linen, and I'm Danny Vallant. We air the issues that the hospitality industry finds hard to talk about, hearing from different people with unique perspectives. We want to hear from you as well. If you have something that needs to be said about a topic, get in touch so we can include your perspective. Contact us at dirtylinen@deepintheweeds.com.au or hit us up on Insta at Dirty Linen Podcast. We can't wait to hear from you.